Muscle is metabolically expensive. If you provide no reason to keep it, your body will remove it. There are 3 muscle preservation signals that must remain strong while you are on Reta. You've been on Retatrutide for a few weeks now. The scale is moving, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 15 pounds. Objectively, this is progress, but visually, your waist still looks soft, your muscle definition hasn't improved, and you even look flatter than what you looked before you even started. This is the part that most researchers don't prepare for. This is not Retatrutide failing, this is not muscles wasting, and this is not a plateau. This is sequencing. Your body does not change in the order that you expect. The scale responds first, the mirror will respond last. And if you don't understand this sequence, you will start to change things that really don't need to be changed. Today, I'm going to break down 3 simple stages. Why the scale drops fast, why you look flat first, and when does real fat loss actually show up. There's a distinct difference between weight loss and fat loss. If you understand these 3 stages, you stop reacting emotionally and you start thinking biologically. So stage 1, why does the scale drop so fast? Retatrutide immediately changes energy balance through GLP-1, GIP, and glucagon signaling. Appetite drops, caloric intake drops, glucagon increases metabolic output, and energy balance shifts quickly. All of this actually happens in days. Your body moves from fuel seeking mode to fuel mobilizing mode almost immediately. This shift shows up on the scale fast. But here's the part that most people miss. The early weight loss that you see on Retatrutide, it isn't primarily fat. This is why week 1 through 4 on Reta feels almost automatic when it comes to weight loss. But that doesn't mean you've burned 10 pounds of body fat. You've only reduced stored fuel and fluid. This is stage 1. The scale leads, the mirror does not. Stage 2, why do you look flat first? This is where the frustration for most set in. You look smaller, but you don't look leaner. In fact, most people look softer, but here's why. Muscle fullness is heavily dependent on intracellular water. When muscles lose volume, the fat sitting on top of it becomes more visual. You didn't gain fat, you didn't lose all of your muscle, you simply removed the inflation underneath it. This is the deflation phase, and it's temporary in most cases, but it's also physiologically brutal. Most people interpret this phase as muscle loss. They stop lifting, they reduce training intensity, and some panic and they start adding additional compounds prematurely. That's possibly the worst thing that you can do. If you keep your protein intake high and maintain resistant training, muscle preservation during this phase will remain intact. But if you stop signaling that the muscle isn't required, the body will start reallocating tissue. Reta only creates deficit pressure. It doesn't create muscle preservation pressure. That part is all on you. Stage 3 is when real fat loss actually shows up. Once the fluid shift stabilizes, real fat oxidation becomes dominant. This usually shows up between weeks 4 and 12. Now that your body has decided on how to sustain this deficit, it has two options: oxidized fat or lean tissue. Muscle is metabolically expensive. If you provide no reason to keep it, your body will remove it. There are 3 muscle preservation signals that must remain strong while you are on Reta: resistant training, adequate protein intake, and recovery. If these are strong, fat loss becomes dominant. If they are weak, lean mass becomes vulnerable. This is when the mirror begins to change. You begin to see a difference in your overall appearance. And not because the scale is still crashing, but because tissue is being remodeled. This process is slower, it's less dramatic, but it's high quality. The mistake many people make when they experiment with Reta is that they quit doing stage 2 and don't give Reta enough time to shine in stage 3. So at 60 days on Reta, this is by far the best time for researchers to determine exactly what is holding them back, if something is holding them back. There's really absolutely no reason for anyone to panic if they feel as if they have stalled. There are usually 3 bottlenecks at the 60-day mark. The first bottleneck: central fat isn't shrinking. Weight is down, but waist circumference hasn't moved. This usually suggests that fat distribution is lagging. Retatrutide, it manages systemic energy. It doesn't target visceral fat. This is where something like Tesamorelin becomes relevant, not for weight loss, but for visceral fat mobilization. This is only if waist reduction has stalled. The second bottleneck that some people experience: they look flat or smaller. Strength has declined, muscle fullness is gone. This is often a preservation failure. Protein intake tends to be low and training intensity has dropped. Pulse-based growth hormone support like CJC may help in this context, but only if the stimulus from training is available. No stimulus from training, no benefit. And the third bottleneck that some people experience is training output has collapsed. Work capacity is down and recovery feels impaired. In a prolonged calorie deficit, mitochondrial throughput can become limited. This is where mitochondrial support like MOTC and SS31 may be relevant. You are not adding these 2 research compounds to help with fat loss. You are adding them to restore energy production so you can train hard enough to preserve muscle. Each of these tools that I mentioned solves a specific bottleneck, not a general frustration. Reta handles appetite and energy flow. It will not sculpt your physique. If the scale is dropping 1% to 2% of your body weight per week, you may be sacrificing quality for speed. Weeks 1 through 4, the scale will move very fast, but you'll barely see any change in the mirror. Weeks 4 through 12, your waistline starts to shrink and definition slowly improves. Months 4 to 6, recomposition becomes obvious. The transformation you experience during these 6 months will be layered, not linear. The scale will measure mass accurately. The mirror will show you how structured your plan was. Do not confuse the two. If you are in your early phase and you are discouraged, understand this. Nothing is wrong. You are simply early in the sequence. Respect the order, maintain muscle preservation signals, and let tissue catch up to energy. If this helped clarify what you are actually experiencing on Retatrutide, please subscribe to the channel. I routinely break down physiology just like this so you can make decisions based on mechanisms and not emotions. I'll catch you guys later.